Hello, my name is Tracy Allen, and I want to welcome you to Cooking with Some Friends. Hello everyone, and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I'm going to do a recipe for you today that I used to make quite a bit when I was teaching. In fact, we would do like drives and fundraisers for the school that I taught at, and the student council would have my cooking classes always make these up and they'd sell them. And it just killed me how much they got per brownie. So anyway, this is a double chocolate brownie recipe that will make about 2 dozen brownies, and it's probably the best brownie recipe I've ever had, or the best brownies I've ever had, but it does have a lot of chocolate involved. And so if you like chocolate, this one might be for you. Now I have gone ahead and preheated my oven, and normally I would preheat it to 350, but I'm using a glass baking dish. And glass sometimes worries me that the edges of these brownies and the bottoms of them are going to get too well done. And that really is the key to these brownies, is to not over bake them. So I've sprayed my glass 9x13, and I don't know if you can see it. My husband has personalized this for me so that if I take it to church dinners or whatever, I make sure I get my baking dish back. So anyway, I have in my bowl, I have melted 3/4 cup of butter, and to that I'm going to stir in 2 cups of sugar, and I'm going to stir in 1/2 cup of cocoa. Get it all. And then I'm going to add in some vanilla, and it's going to take 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Again, it always floors me how we add vanilla to chocolate items. It would seem like a oxymoron to do that. So I have 2 teaspoons. It's supposed to be up in the hundreds, up around 100 here. In the next few days, and not a good thing for us because our central air unit is having issues. Luckily, we have a window unit that we can use when we need it, but our repairman needs to get back here. He ordered the part, but he hasn't been back for a week, and not a good thing if the temperatures are going to be that high. Okay, so now I also need to add in 4 eggs. Okay, so I'm going to mix that in. And those are our wet ingredients. So I want to get that mixed well before I add any dry ingredients. I have a son who is allergic to chocolate, and I have a too much chocolate cake that he really likes, but he loves these brownies, and I always worry that he's going to get too much chocolate and it's going to have an allergic reaction, and Benadryl won't handle it. Okay, so then I need to add my dry ingredients. And for my dry ingredients, I have 1.5 cups of flour. I need 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And with my crock, that's what I have for my spoon, is 1/2 teaspoon. And I also want to add in some baking powder for my leavening agent. And for this one, it will take 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. So I'm going to mix those to incorporate those dry ingredients. And I don't want to overmix, I just want to get them mixed in. And my final ingredient, and you could add nuts to this if you wanted to, but I don't normally. And again, I didn't when we did it as a fundraiser because there are too many people that have nut allergies. So you don't want to cause an issue with intentionally putting those items in your baked products if you don't know who your audience or your clientele is. Okay, so the last ingredient, 2 cups of chocolate chips, semi-sweet. Give those a quick stir. And as you can see, it's a really thick brownie batter. So I'm going to put this in my sprayed pan, my sprayed 9x13, put this in my 325-degree oven and let it bake. And it'll take it probably about, well, I want to watch it closely because I don't want it to overbake, but right around 30 minutes, give or take. So again, just, you want them to be a little bit gooey, just not doughy. So that's our double chocolate brownies. Hello and welcome to Cooking with Some Friends. I have supper in the oven, but I'm going to use up some of our peaches for dessert. And so I am going to make some peaches Foster. I don't like bananas, so I don't make bananas Foster, but I will make peaches Foster. So I have peeled and sliced up 3 peaches, and I'm just doing half a recipe. And I want to sprinkle just a little bit of cinnamon on that. Get too carried away, and a little bit of lemon juice to keep them from browning while we're getting ready for them. I just want to sprinkle that. Doesn't make much. I'm going to mix these and set those aside while I make the other part of this. And we'll serve this over. I have some homemade vanilla ice cream in the freezer, or you could just serve it over store-bought ice cream, or some from the Dairy Queen, whatever. So in my pan that makes the other part of this, the sauce that goes over it, I have a couple tablespoons of butter that I'm melting. And I'm also going to add a 1/4 cup of brown sugar to that. And I want to cook that until the sugar dissolves. Now, some recipes for this just call for regular sugar, white sugar, not brown sugar, but I like the flavor of brown sugar, so we're going to do it with a little bit of brown sugar. And it looks like my pan is too big right now, but by the time I add my peaches and the juices cooked from that, then this pan will be needed. So the brown sugar and the butter has thickened up a little bit. The sugar has actually dissolved some, so now I'm ready to dump those peaches in. And I'm going to let these cook until they get a little bit soft. And the only other things I need to add, I can add now, or I can wait just a little while, but I'm going to add them now. I need a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla. And 2 tablespoons of bourbon. There we go, using that left hand again. I would hate to go overboard on the bourbon. Okay. So I'm going to cook this and let those peaches soften up, and then it will be ready to serve over our ice cream. Our peaches Foster. Thanks for joining us for this session of Cooking with Some Friends. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And find us on Facebook at Cooking with Some Friends.